2 years of unprofitability, 3 years to finally start seeing consistent payouts. And it was in this exact office that I sat when I got my first ever payout. That payout completely changed my life because I knew that I could make it with trading, because if I did it once, I can just understand what I did right and do it over and over again. Now, it took me 3 years to finally start seeing consistent payouts. And it was in this exact office that I took 3 payouts in 2 weeks. And now coming back and looking at the office, it looked nowhere near as good as this. This is a picture of what this office looked like. I'm just incredibly grateful. And I want to talk about exactly what made me go from an unprofitable trader. I was working 2 jobs, I was in university just to be able to make about $1,000 a month, to now being profitable for over 4 years and receiving payouts pretty much on a weekly basis. And it was very specific thing. When I started trading, I did not know how I was going to be able to make it. Maybe right now you are in the same situation too. You're blowing accounts, or you're blowing funded accounts. That's possibly the worst one. Or you're getting a payout and then blowing everything again. And I know exactly where you're at because I was there, especially in my first 3 years. That's why I was mainly break even within my first 3 years. And only then did I start getting consistent profits. And I wanted to make this video because I'm back in the office and it reminded me of the journey I've been through, and I know exactly what the massive shift was, what my trading shift was, and I want to make sure that you have yours. And by the way, on the 14th of July, I'm running a whole free event called Your Trading Shift, where I'm going to explain the strategy that I use to receive consistent payouts, the strategy that my students use to receive consistent payouts, and also everything that took me from unprofitable to profitable. If you check the first link in the description, you can register for the live event and get access to my platform and my Telegram, where I'll share daily market breakdowns. But let's talk about number one. Number one, I would say, is direction, but I'm not going to start with that. I'm going to say that it was understanding that I was always overestimating how much psychology had a play in my trading. Why is it? Because you probably know this, that you're not unprofitable because you're not working hard. Let me guess, you backtest, you forward test, you journal, you do all of these things. If you're watching this, I know you do all of these things and you're still not getting the results that you want. So it's not about hard work. And I thought the same exact thing about trading psychology. I always thought there's something else that I don't know. And the problem with that is that the doubts that it creates in your mind is the doubts that it created in my mind, which is, I don't think I have it in me. I don't think I have what is needed in me to become a profitable trader. And that thought daunted me so much. To think that I've been dedicating 2 years of my life to this, working hard, and now I find out I don't have what I need to become a profitable trader. That thought was daunting to me, but I kept going. And now, the more profitable I am, the more I understand that trading psychology is 90% after you've become profitable. After you become profitable, after you've proven to yourself you've received a bunch of payouts, and now you're trying to scale up. Trading psychology is a big factor when you're scaling up. I like to compare this with, for example, soccer, right? Or football for all my Europeans people. We know it's football that you say it. Now with the World Cup, obviously in the World Cup, it's psychology that makes a lot of footballers underperform. But the reason I'm not at the World Cup, it's not because of my football psychology. It's because I'm ass at football, right? So getting to that professional stage is a lot to do with skill. Staying there has a lot to do with psychology. So this is where the rest of the video comes in, which is understanding exactly what you have to master to get to the big leagues. And now the first thing ever is direction. You need to understand the direction of the market. The market trading is a bet that the market is more likely to move in one direction than it is to move in the other direction. So who are we to say, nah, it's fine. I don't need direction. I don't need to understand where the market is going because I'm a scalper. Oh, I don't need to understand where the market is going because I'm a day trader. That is completely misinformed. Think about this. If I was to tell you, Hey, there's an 80% chance that the market today moves bullish. Today, by the end of the day, the market closes bullish. Would you look for shorts? Or would you look at positioning yourself in the best long possible, where there's the highest probability of either the low being in? Can you now understand how important direction is? So direction was straight up what changed everything for me. Once I started focusing on that, oh my god, I did not look back. One of the biggest things that changed my trading was prop firm is the best prop firm right now. One of the prop firms with the most amount of payouts. It is FundedNext. They have the CFDs and they have the future side. All plans, cheap, expensive, easy payout, easy challenge. It doesn't matter. They have something for you. With code Kimmel, you can always get the best discount code. Point number 2 was possibly one of the most important ones too. And that is that I would be able to explain my full strategy and explain to you exactly what you should look for every single day in a tiny piece of paper. Everything. I could explain everything about my strategy in this piece of paper. Now, why am I saying this? Because a lot of traders, they think that in order to make a lot of money, you cannot have something simple. It doesn't make sense because in our life, we've been told that if it's simple, it's probably not the right answer. Especially in trading when there's so much money involved, you would think, no, it can't be direction because what if we reverse? It's like, you're missing the point. In trading, you want as little variables as possible that are so foundationally strong that help your trading strategy so much that you've now simplified your trading so much. And now, if we think back to direction, let's understand why that gets simplified. If you're only looking for longs, in the case the market is bullish, because you know that the day is 80% likely to move higher, what are you going to do now? You're only going to look for bullish levels. Why? Because you want to make sure that you are trading from a strong area to then take the longs. That's what a value area is. That's what people call premium and discount, whatever it is that you want to call it. It's a level that the market goes to, reacts from, and this is where you execute. So notice how all of a sudden, by understanding that direction is important, we've already simplified it into, so I don't need to look for bullish and bearish levels. I know where I expect the market to go, so my management also becomes easier. All of a sudden, your trading becomes simple. Because what used to happen, by the way, in my first 2 years where I was fully unprofitable, is I would get to the charts and I would just get confused. Fully confused. I had no idea what I was looking at in the charts. And this is what kept me in this cycle of unprofitability. And it was because I didn't have a simple enough process. On the first strategy I went to, there were 30 pairs to trade. All of the FX pairs, some of the commodities, everything. I traded everything. On the other one, it was too discretionary. On Smart Money Concepts, it was a 2-pip stop with longs and shorts in the same session, in the same hour if I had to. And I never understood why I was trading. And you understanding the why of your trades is going to make it so much incredibly easier. For example, for me, Kimmel, why did you take the longs? Because I expected today to be extremely likely to move bullish. Kimmel, why don't you take the shorts? Because the day is extremely likely to move bullish, right? And I know all of this through Daily Bias, I've made a bunch of videos on it, by the way. Again, on the live event on the 14th of July, I'm gonna talk about all of that. So just check the first link in the description. And you will also get access to my platform called Master Trading Direction, where you'll have an interactive exercise and a free course on direction. And then the last thing that I want to say that turned me from an unprofitable trader to a profitable trader. First was the direction. 2 was the simplifying. And I know that this might sound cliche, but the 3 is doing it for a long enough period of time and judging your data sets in the right way. What does that mean? If I take a loss, I don't care. Yesterday, I took a break even. I don't care. If I take a win, I also don't care. What do I care about then? I care about every single day having a set of data that I look at, and from here I forecast what I expect from the market. I forecast the direction, and I forecast what levels I want to see the market reacting from, and how I'm going to execute in case these things happen. And then the only thing I judge is how well I'm sticking to what I said I'm going to do every single day, which means I forecast every single day. And I recommend you doing the same. The most important process is not journaling, it's not even the back testing. It is forecasting. You have to forecast every single day before your session, 15 minutes before your session opens. I don't care if you trade London, I don't care if you trade New York, I don't care if you trade Asia. You forecast what you think the market is going to do and how you're going to trade in case those things happen. Because then you are able to judge your trading results based on how well you are sticking to what you said you're going to do. Because then the only variables you have to look at is, am I calling the direction correctly? Right? You'll look at your forecast and you say, okay, the market was going to go up. This is why. The market went down. And this happens again and again and again and again. And you're like, oh, okay, my direction calling is not as good. Or let's say that you forecast that the market is going to go into a specific level, reverse, you enter, and then you keep taking losses. And then it goes to the next key level and then goes. You're like, okay, I'm not picking the levels too well, or I'm being too aggressive. But notice how you're not judging the trades that you're taking, you're judging your forecast. Because on your forecast, this is where the most raw knowledge is that you need to master. And so this is why direction has completely changed my trading. And I'm going to talk about it in a live event on the 14th of July, or you can hear more about it on Master Trading Direction. That simplified my trading, which allowed me to stay consistent for so much longer. And then I just did it for a long enough period of time, which was 5 years of looking at direction, 5 years of forecasting every day, 5 years of judging my forecast, 5 years of doing tweaks to my strategy based on direction, based on the key levels, based on the entries. And that is what has allowed me to receive payouts pretty much on a weekly basis and turn from an unprofitable trader on this office right here, the office that I'm currently standing in that looks nowhere similar to this 5 years ago. This is what it looked like. And now, being able to say that I've been a consistently profitable trader for over 5 years. With that being said, I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to check out Funded Next with this link right here. If you want to see how I scaled to $10,000 a month, this is the best video for you. And don't forget, 14th of July, I'm going to run a live event. You can check with the first link in the description. Peace.